Now, when we talk about grade scope, so a brief agenda, what would be covering up? So we'll sign up to the course. We will see how do we grade on our grade scope by using rubrics. Again, these rubrics can be as lengthy as possible or as short as possible as well. Or these can be a simple grading form as well. So not necessarily when we talk about rubrics, which are meant to be actually to the like rubrics, which is a learning tool or an which helps to kind of achieve the learning outcome for students. It can be in simple grading form as well, which is associated with certain marking so that evaluation can happen for students. So when we are creating rubrics, it is kind of becoming very, it's the consistency of grading becomes similar for all the students, as in the consistency remains across all the students. As well as we can kind of, given the feedbacks, we can use different set of annotation tools. And most importantly, when the review or when the evaluation has happened, the statistics or the analytics is something important which provides the information for faculty member that how the set of students have performed on a set of exercises, chapters, or group of assignments. So that is possible as well. Also, we'll take a view of students interface, and always there is an option for you to have this integrated with your existing workflow. When we talk about existing workflow, it is about your integrations with your existing learning management systems. So whether it is Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, we can go ahead and integrate that as well. So we'll try and focus today more on the evaluation, which is with the help of AI enabled as well as programming assignment. Because this application tends to be a larger thing, but we'll take an overview what exactly which is available. So when we talk about grade scope assignment types, again, assignment types, it's the grade scope nomenclature, but these are various assessments that we can go ahead and evaluate students' work. Whether it is a bubble sheet assessment, assignment, or assessment for that matter, which is usually tend to be an MCQ sheet, wherein students kind of go ahead and respond to those MCQ answers or MCQ questions, and that can be simply evaluated by scanning the papers and bringing them on gradescope platform. So we do not need any manual interventions. It's just that we need to scan and bring them on gradescope, and the evaluation is done. So likewise, homework, online exam, or quiz, or programming assignment are there. So let's take all of these assignments, let's understand all of these assignment or assessment types one by one. So when we talk about programming assignment, yes, it's a template type wherein you can submit the file via GitHub or Bitbucket. You can go ahead and submit. When students upload, yes, we want students to upload, and it is auto grading as well as manual grading. So this particular system is completely defined wherein you can simply choose to auto grade, and at times if you feel that you want to manually grade, that option is available as well. So this is how the intervention, so for that matter, the interface is visible, wherein if you choose to do auto grading, it will simply kind of run all the student submissions against the test cases which have been already uploaded. One. And if you've also chosen an option to manual grade in terms of code writing style, you want to understand, is there any exceptionally that they have written it well, where it's evading two or three steps more, which is usually in the traditional setup. No, students have kind of done a lot of combinations in terms of style, syntax, and you want to give an additional grading, additional points, or certain additional feedback, that is possible as well. So it's up a manual grading or an combination of both manual grading, auto grading as well, or simply keep it auto grading as well. Now, when we talk about exam or quiz kind of an assignment, so basically, when we talk about exam and quiz related to and STEM related, is wherein we kind of, and when we implement grade scope for STEM related programs, we can see the optimal usage of this particular application. A template based, yes, instructors upload, wherein we need to kind of scan the answer sheets and bring them on GradeScope platform. And here we have AI assisted grading and answer grouping functionality. For that matter, when we say AI assisted grading and answer grouping functionality, the AI is kind of going to look at similar answers and it is going to group the similar answers wherein we are grading all the grouped answers in one go, because students tend to give the same answer, because if there's the same question, it's the same answer which has been expected. So when we see in the traditional way, faculty members, teachers need to kind of go through each answers one by one. So even if they're right answers, they may not want to spend a lot of time, but if there are wrong answers, they may want to spend a lot of time there, see where the student responses are wrong, whether it is completely wrong, partially wrong, or certain inputs that needs to be given. So in right answers, it can be grouped at once. It can be graded at once. But at wrong answers, we may want to wait and given that time. So that time can be saved and the grading can tend to become much more faster. Now, when we talk about also homework or problem set of assignment, so that is possible. So even at times, so there's no structure for us when we talk about higher education, that how is certain homework that we are going to give for students. So that's always possible with this particular application as well, where we can also structure our work when we as faculty members, teachers are giving homework to students or certain work to students, that we make sure that it is also being structured and it is being given in certain formats. And even if that evaluation needs to be done on a certain way, that can be done as well. And then online assignment. When we talk about online assignment, it is a very useful and interesting kind of an assignment which can be used into your day to day academic activities. Now, when we talk about day to day academic activities, this particular online assignment has various assessment functionalities. So, either it can be a multiple choice, select all, short answers, long answers, or file upload. So even that can be evaluated. So when we are trying to set up an assignment for students, so it is not necessarily that assignment is in a single or an assessment pattern is in a single way. So it can be into multiple ways as well. Whether it is a multiple choice, select all answer, we may want them to do a long answer or short answer, or even for that matter, a file upload is possible. So when we say it is a completely online assignment, so this particular assignment can be a window opens up. This can be also timed up as well. So you want students to take this assessment within just 30 minutes. So momentarily the students start taking on this assignment or this assessment, the time starts ticking, so that students even have the time of just 30 minutes to go ahead and kind of complete this assessment that a faculty member has designed. Now, here the grading option is both automatically graded for some of the questions and manually grading for some of the questions. Now, when we say automatically grading for short answers, free responses, or multiple choice questions, it's automatically graded. But for select all or file upload of variable length or a longer length of answers, and manual intervention is required. When we talk about bubble sheet assignment, as we have started speaking about an MCQ assignment, wherein a lot of MCQ questions can be considered. So MCQ pattern can also be taken care by this. Now again, when we say MCQs, so we have distributed the hard copies for the students, so they have responded that. So they have filled in their responses there. It's just that we need to scan them and bring it on GradeScope platform. And while we are setting up the assignment, we are already informing the right answers so that once we scan and bring in, it's automatically graded. And the statistics, how the students have performed. So the everything is now available for you as an instructor. So there's no one by one grading. So Some of the benefits that you can leverage from Gradescope as an application, one is the scanning feature. So we need to kind of scan, even if there is remote examinations, at times evaluation becomes really hard. The examinations, post conducting the examination, the evaluation becomes hard. So that is one of the important primary aspects to it. This can help you achieve the overall efficiency in terms of accuracy, consistency, and clear and kind of, if required, private grading as well. So, anonymous grading is also there, and most of the institutions who are providing online courses, so online courses wherein online examinations are conducted, it can really benefit about notes, table where a file observators were integrated evaluator. So that so I can view on question usual and kind to started before yeah. So once you've created a for courses in the very first very beginning when starts utilizing the application. The very first time you can by once you look at course, this particular instances will ask you to kind of give in a course details like what is the entry code, what are the course name. Once you number any description that you need to be giving in, so all what for farmers in winter we can see the number and the institution and department within the institution can do as well. Assuming we have created a course and this is a course which has come up. So so once this course is there created, the very beginning the instructor may want to go to the roster page. So here on the roster page, they may want to add students of the respective staff members. So whether it can be a bulk upload as well as a single user as well. So in case of single user, you may want to give in their name, last name, email address, the student ID. Student ID is usually a roll number that we kind of give in, and then we decide their role, whether they are a student, instructor, teaching assistant, or a reader. So in case if they are a teaching assistant, we can go ahead and add them one by one as well. Or for the very beginning, it is always important that we do a bulk upload by giving the first name, last name, email address, and student identification is nothing, just the roll number we can give in, and we can do a bulk upload as well. So once this has been done, so I can see the list at the roster page. I can see the list of students who have added over here. So I see myself being added as an instructor, as well as my another email ID is being added as a student email ID as well. So this is how we kind of go ahead and create the courses on Gradescope as an application. Now, if it is already integrated with a learning management system, say for example Moodle, so no necessity to create a course and adding students to the roster because that is already there on Moodle. So it's just that you can simply get into the course which is existing, come to the list of assignments, coming to the assignments page, so I can see there's list existing certain assignments which are already created, and you can start creating the assignments over here. So there are various kind of assignments which are available that we have just discussed. So today we will be taking a look at not all the set of assignments, but only exam and quiz and then programming assignment, which would be the primary use case for your institutions, wherein I see there is already a setup which is already being done for an exam and quiz kind of an assignment, which is an AI assisted grading functionality, wherein we'll take a look at, wherein we have given an outline over here. So not necessarily that every outline needs to be a quite perfect. So you can simply give in the name and student ID. So we are just telling Gradescope as an application that where are the students supposed to be writing. So all for the questions, again, these boxes, not to being worried that we completely needs to be perfect. It's just that we're telling the application where are students supposed to write. So we have kind of given them integral of x is the question, like what is the total number of marks is 5. Then it is derivative of cos x, then it's just 5 marks. So overall, this is question 1, wherein which we have 1.1 and 1.2. Then we are just framing the outline. So whenever we evaluate, it's kind of the evaluation is happening properly, one, and AI is able to group it properly. So we are just telling the application where students are supposed to write. So this basically here, there are certain rubrics. Again, rubrics are not, so here we haven't created any rubrics. So it's just that we need to create the rubrics while we are evaluating students' work. And then there are these scans. Now, when I talk about these scans, so I here see that these are student papers over here, and I've scanned them in batch and I've brought them on Gradescope application. So when I'm scan them in batch, this means that, so this is a Gabriel student paper, this is Charles, and likewise for all the students. So when I say when I've scanned these papers are being mapped to the roster. And the name ID and the name and the student ID is being kind of reflected. The tool uses OCR technology, and this is mapping it to the roster page. So this is where the bifurcation has been done, and then we have already scanned them, and we see that students are matching for them. So like Byron is matched to Byron, Paul is matched to Paul, Rose is matched to Rose. So this is how we get to see, and then we can start grading the submissions over here. So this is again an integral part of the session, wherein to understand how, so this particular now these the system has already grouped us. So this is 1 half x square. So these are certain answers and which is already grouped for us, and then we can go ahead and start grading. So I have around 20 papers to grade over here. What I see is. So now what is the integral of x? So this is an incomplete answer. So what I can do is, this is an complete answer. Now, the rubric that I'm typing over here on the right hand side can be as short as like this, and it can be a much elaborative answer as well. Incomplete answer, look for the right response in the class workbook. So either this can be a generic response like this, or it can be as long as it can be a generic rubric like this, or it can be more related towards the subject as well. And now when I want to go ahead and take off certain points over here, so I will say I want to take off 3 points, and if I check mark on this number one item over here, so I see student has got 2 out of 5 points. And now once I go to next ungraded, what happens is I've already graded that response. So I've already graded 1/2 x squared. So this means I've already graded 5 students who have answered that wrong answer. Now, this is again an incomplete answer, so you do not need to kind of go ahead and add a rubric item. You can use the existing one. So if this is relatable, so I can simply click on this, or I can click on number one on my keyboard. So there are certain keyboard shortcuts as well, and I can go ahead and grade the next responses as well. So I see I've already graded 9 students out of 20. So this is again a completely wrong answer. So I can simply say it's a wrong answer, and I want to take off all 5 points, and I click on number two on my keyboard, and then I go to next ungraded. So this is, I've already graded 13 students. So what AI is doing over here is it is grouping the similar answers. It's not necessarily that the faculty needs to go to every answer and take a look at that. And once this is again a blank response, I have the existing rubric item. I've just clicked on number two on my keyboard and just taken a right hand side key so that I go to the next ungraded. Now this is a right response, so I just say it's a right response. And then I do not want to take off any points. I click on number three and go to next ungraded. So I've graded all 20 responses in few clicks. So AI over here is kind of grouping similar answers where students are responding to, best used for all STEM related programs. Assuming now going forward, we can also kind of grading geography questions wherein there are certain map onto a map wherein we have asked them to shade North Dakota, South Dakota. So that is possible as well. So that kind of grouping is possible, and we can simply go ahead and grade those responses. So as once you've graded all of these, so assuming you have graded all of these, so once you have graded the complete assignment, then this is available. So this is as a statistics which is available to understand that how exactly the students have performed. So there are multiple submissions. So this is great. So just a moment. So once we have completely graded all the students' work over here, so we understand how many students have got what number of marks. So total grading hasn't happened over here. So we understand what is the mean, median, mode of every student, how the students have performed. So here the primary objective for us to inform is basically that AI is being used. We are not completely leaving AI to do the decision making, whether it is a right or a wrong response. AI is just kind of placing the answers in such a way wherein it is grouping the similar answers, and still the evaluation, the complete final decision making remains with the faculty member, whether it is a right response or a wrong response. Now, so another instances that we may want to take a look at is when I come back to the assignments page, I may want to go ahead and create a programming assignment. So if I click on creating a programming assignment, I select programming and assignment, I click on next, I can give in the name. So this is the programming assignment that we will take a look at. And then anonymous grading, if the student identification needs to be hidden, wherein student roll number or student name, if that kind of an activity needs to be anonymous, so that is possible as well. So auto grading, so it can be auto grading as well as manual grading if a faculty member decides manual grading on certain code, syntax, style, so that is possible as well. So let's start with simply auto grading. So it's the third, today is the time. So this is the time wherein we want the assignment to be released. The due date of the assignment, I kind of given a 2 weeks of time, and this is the time. If you want to allow late submission, you can do that and kind of set up the late date and time for the late due submission as well. If there are group submissions, we can enable that and then limit the group size. So only instructors, all the staff, and the TA can also edit rubrics, that is possible. And then leaders vote. So as I mentioned earlier, while we were talking about a grade scope evaluation towards programming assignment, so it's this certain leaderboard. If you want to enable the leaderboard, you can do that as well. So you can set certain parameters of these leaderboards. Leaderboards can be created to in terms of auto grader as well. Why? Because if they have exceeded certain expectations in terms of code generation, so that is possible as well. So you can set up while you're doing that auto grader as well, and then you can simply go ahead and create this assignment. While we are creating this assignment, now we need to select the auto grader. So this is one of the auto graders that is available, which is again, we are asking them to write a calculator program using Python technology. So you can simply upgrade. When you say update the auto grader, now this is defining the test cases for the students, the expected answers or the expected code assignments that the students need to submit. So we'll have to give a little while over here till it set up the auto grader. So now it's building the output, so the expected output. As, as long as it's successful, so we give it a little while till it sets up. Yeah. So once it is built in successful, so this is the expected code for the calculator program. So once this has been set up, you can simply go on manage submissions. So now what has happened is here we see there is a green tick, means we have kind of completed this particular step. So now what happens is the manage submissions part. So we have created the assignment, we have created a course, we have added students via roster page, and now we have created the assignment, the programming assignment. So what happens is now the students within their login. So this is my student login over here, and I click on grade scope 202. So this is a course, and I see there are no submissions yet. So this is the time and the date where the assignment has been started, and this is the due date. So it's 1 week 6 days which has been left. So I kind of, as a student, I click on this programming assignment, and I have various options. So I can go ahead and upload those code related files on whatever system I'm using, GitHub or Bitbucket. If I'm using these platforms for generating my code or maintaining my code related work, I can go ahead and do that as well. I can simply select. So this is my metadata and the calculator program that I have written. I simply click on this files and I click on upload. So moment I do that, so now this has been uploaded. So the programming assignment, the students part, is being submitted successfully. So now this is kind of, this is running. So now the test cases, so this has been, the student responses is being compared against the auto grader that we have set up. So again, coming back to my instructor interface over here, and if I give a refresh, so I see there's an assignment which has come up, and the score has already populated. The student has responded it rightly and has passed the test cases. So the student has got 20 out of 20 marks. And likewise, if the students have not responded correctly as per the autograder, as we are setting up the autograder, students need to get, if they have made certain mistakes on this, then they need to be getting 15 marks out of 20, 10 marks out of 20. So as per those set autograders, we can always define our test cases. And as per those test cases, we will kind of get to see how the students have been performing. So this is most robust kind of an evaluation parameter for all the programming courses programming. And there are various programming languages which are supportable. And more than that, at any point in time, as we said, so this is how the statistics would populate for the entire class once the submissions have happened. Now there's only a single student submission which has happened. But once the submissions have happened, then we see how the students have performed. Going forward, we can also review the similarity score for these set languages. So if students have copy pasted within the class assignment or within the class collusion, what we call, the student, we can also go ahead and review students' work, the similarity. If you, even if you want to understand class collusion, so we can also go ahead and understand class collusion for these set programming assignments. And when we come back to statistics here, we can also do a tag level analysis that on which parameters, so whether it is autograders, whether it is Python language, C, C sharp, SQL, any language that we as instructors are teaching our students, we can do a tag level analysis as well on which concepts are much clearer to students and which is something that we as instructors want to go back and review their work. So this is what exactly grade scope application looks like. We have kind of covered only two set of assignments, whether it is a exam or quiz kind of an assignment, or for that matter, programming assignment. But grade scope has various parameters to take a look at, and which can be helpful for various kind of assessments an instructor or an faculty member would plan for. So some pain points that we usually hear around assessment and grading is then, can we use the same type of question that we use in offline mode? Yes, we can do that. How to deal with the larger size, larger classes, larger students up to 2,500 or more, and we have those set of evaluation. Yes, for programming, where we see a lot of boom which happens and a lot of admissions towards that, and institutions with engineering technology needs to as a should have certain robust evaluation parameters. Grading being consistent with the help of rubrics. Yes, there are various annotation features which can be worked on students submissions. If a midway marking needs to be done, then that particular grading would be applied for already previous graded work as well, so that is possible as well. So not necessary that if you as an instructor realize that yes, you want to kind of deduct some point or add some point, but you're halfway through your grading, so that is possible as well. Then images tables can be graded. When we say we can grade it faster, it is grading faster with the accuracy and consistency across all the students, if even if they are multiple graders. And we at Turnitin, yes, data security is something important. We do follow all the external compliances so that the your data becomes yours and it's secured. So that is something there. So before we go ahead and just take in a look, so I just wanted to show a small video on how exactly grade scope works. If someone could confirm if your they can hear the audio. I hope the audio is Audible?
No, Gautam.
Okay. This should be a valid.
GradeScope is the place for all your assessments.
Yes.
Your final exam on quantum entanglement? That programming project about bees and ants. It's an online platform built by instructors for instructors to help cover all aspects of creating, distributing, grading, and understanding your assessments. Deliver your assessments on paper, online, or both, and take your work with you wherever you go. Whether you're a team of 1 grading 10 students or a team of 100 grading 1,000, you can save time grading. No more passing papers back and forth. Coordinate grading across questions in parallel or work on the same question at the same time. And we made using a rubric easier and more powerful. All graders share the same rubric, and if edits are made, they automatically apply to the students who are already graded. Plus, you can grade even faster with answer groups, so you don't have to grade the same thing twice. Then with just one click, students can get your detailed feedback, allowing them to understand why they missed every point. You can download the grades to import them into your own gradebook or hook into your LMS directly. Sign up today, start grading tomorrow with GradeScope. GradeScope is the place for all your assessments. Your final exam.
So this is what we had planned, but if there are any questions, concerns, please let us know. We can go ahead and solve your queries also. So I hope you were able to hear after the audio setting was done. So there was certain chat which said. So if there are any questions, please let us know so that we can go ahead and address your questions. I'll go ahead and share the YouTube link for the resources, so that should be available. Just a moment.
Thank you, sir. If any have any question, they can ask or raise your hand. I will make you the panelist. Thank you, sir.
So if there are no more questions, then we good to go ahead and
Yes, sir. You
okay.
can go.
At
Thank you,
any point
sir.
of time, if they have any questions or concerns, they can always reach out to us. Sir.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Uh, So now we will take a small break and then we will continue.
Okay, sir. Okay.